going on YouTube, and welcome back to this week's video where I'll be sharing with you guys some of the worst financial mistakes that I have done so far in my age of turning 21. You know that I'm only 21, and you might be wondering, really, like, how many financial mistakes could have you done if you have only turned 21? But guys, you'll be surprised that maybe most of your financial mistakes you actually start making in your 20s. But guys, before this video starts, if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you smash the subscribe button, make sure you like this video, for you guys can be the first to watch more of my weekly content. Okay guys, so as soon as you start hitting your 20s, maybe even as early as your mid-teens or late teens, you know, you start wanting to associate yourself with different people. You maybe start wanting to dress a different way. Maybe start talking a different way. Maybe you start, you know, just being a different type of person. Perhaps it's just you, the way you're changing, evolving. But guys, you start making choices as soon as you start getting older. And you may know someone who has changed their clothes or is known for that guy or that girl that has the best clothes in school, that person who has the best car in school, or that person who just has the best gadgets at all possible costs. Now guys, of course there's nothing wrong with having the best car or the nicest clothes or the best and latest gadgets available. But guys, before doing any purchase, you have to make sure you ask yourself some questions. And one of the most simplest questions is what you have to give in return to receive that item. And guys, don't worry, you're not alone, and I'm not just here nagging you, telling you guys, you know, that you've done this, you've done that, and not look at myself. I wanted to tell you guys some of the financial mistakes that I have done in only being 21 years old. You may be looking at yourself, or you may be asking yourself, I'm so young, I have so much time, you know, to make money or to save up money or not to commit any financial mistakes. So what does it really matter if I don't start at a young age? Well guys, your 20s is a time where you can actually spend so much time, since you might have so much time on your hands, to actually save and invest on that money. So why not do it? The number one item, guys, that I did end up buying, and it was probably, you know, I love cars, guys, and of course it was my very first car, and I loved it so much. I love cars, I'm into cars, not possibly as much as I actually was before, maybe about a year ago, but I still enjoy cars so much that I ended up buying myself a 2010 BMW 335. And yes guys, it's not a brand new car, and it wasn't a brand new car when I bought it. But guys, nonetheless, I was not in that position to acquire such a car, because guys, maybe buying that car was not the issue, but the big issue came with the insurance, especially here in Toronto. Insurance could have been at least $400-500, and that was just a complete waste of money at that time. And guys, looking back at it, it was just something I wish I could have not done. And not only that, but it was things like maintenance, it was the fuel price. It is not on the road, guys. I'm actually using a different car, something way more economical, and something that actually saves me money on the long run. But guys, the good thing now of having this second car is that I can actually look at both the cars and I can say, oh wow, it still gets me from point A to point B. And another thing that I just didn't like about that car is that I had to work my so friggin' hard, guys. I started doing modifications to that car, and of course guys, everything I'm mentioning I did. Now guys, it's not wrong to buy things that you enjoy, and of course I got a lot of enjoyment using that car, but you have to make sure that you have to, you know, balance the enjoyment of life and what you're actually gonna have to do to receive it. And maybe had that money in my bank account by now, and could have just been investing it or doing whatever else I wanted to, maybe start a small business with it. Alright guys, but let's get into number 2, which is buying designer clothes. Yes guys, I am one of those people that, you know, back then I really did end up, you know, liking to buy expensive clothes. I loved Gucci or anything like that, Prada, Louis Vuitton. I love designer clothes because of course designer clothes is sometimes made a little bit more nicer than regular clothes. Guys, yes, I ended up buying myself one of those, you know, unique belts that you see a lot of guys wearing. You know, I bought myself a $500 or $600 belt, I couldn't remember. And guys, I ended up buying myself a shoes that I ended up only wearing possibly, I would say, 5 times, and those shoes were about $1,000. And of course, I think we all love to dress nice and possibly have something luxurious, you know, maybe it fits better than the no-name brand or just a regular brand or anything like that. And guys, of course, I think the main reason why a lot of people, especially when they're not in the position to be acquiring, you know, a designer belt or a designer clothing or shoes, is the reason why they just want to show it off. And guys, I did fall in that trap because I did want to just, you know, possibly just buy myself something that made me feel better. You know, maybe I wasn't that type to actually show off what I was wearing, but I instead wanted to just buy something just to buy it. And guys, guess where all that clothing and, you know, those 2 items are at the moment? Yes, guys, they're right over there in my closet, guys, because I don't wear them anymore. And guys, I just find no use for them. And you know, I ended up learning that lesson that I should not bought those 2 items. But guys, what can I do now that I'm 21? I don't plan on actually buying any designer clothing or anything like that until I'm actually possibly in the position to end up buying those things. And the problem with anything that I'm showing you guys on the list, item itself isn't the problem. The problem is what you gotta do, you know, what sacrifices you possibly gotta make to end up buying those. Maybe you could have used that money for something else. Of course, it's not an investment buying a belt or buying a pair of sneakers. Once they're out of the store, they depreciate in value so much. Just like buying a brand new car, it depreciates in value significantly. Okay guys, so let's move on to the third thing that I could find that I actually have spent so much money on, and that can be food. Yes guys, going out, maybe especially when I found myself when I was working, when I was like around 17, 18 years old, I was working at a shop and I was just going out to buy too much food at times. And all that money could have been where? It could have been right here in these pockets, guys. And guys, the thing is, I was in the position to bring food from my house, you know, that my mom had already made, or I could have just made it myself, a simple little lunch here and there, and I could have just not wasted as much money as I did. I did have pretty good self-control on what I was buying, but guys, I could have still saved quite a bit of money, and that is something that you maybe have to look into, especially in your high school time, you know, when you could just bring something from your house instead of just going out to buy lunch just because all your friends are buying Subway or Pizza Nova. Once in a while, of course, it's not something that's gonna end the world and
oh my god, just because I bought this Subway, it now means that I'm gonna have to work so hard in my 20s.
Because I don't have an emergency fund or I have, you know, sufficient income to just be buying that. Fourth financial mistake is when I was around, I would say 17 or 18, and I was going to get some money actually at the bank, and 2 guys pull up next to me. Oh, hey, I have some like electronics, projector and a sound system. And of course, me being kind of naive with that, I wanted to make a profit of whatever they were selling me on. So guys, they were selling me a projector which they told me was around $4,000, and I actually did check online and they were actually around that much. But guys, I think they ended up selling me some fake thing, like it wasn't the actual real projector, it was just like a gimmick of it, and it wasn't not real, and it was just something that, you know, I fell into that trap because I was, you know, greedy and I was just wanting to make extra money. They were selling it. I think I ended up spending for the projector and the home sound system around $1,500 cash that day, and they got me right in the bank. So I'm like, wait on guys, I'll be back. Let me go get that money for you. And guys, I ended up going to the bank, of course, cashing out some money, and I ended up giving it to them, and they just left. And then I ended up going home, trying out everything. Some of the stuff did work, but it wasn't the quality that they were telling me it was going to be. If it sounds too good to be true, guys, just don't end up believing it, guys, because it's gotten to so many people, especially when you're young. You're working hard for your money, and that's possibly the least or the last thing you want to happen. But guys, those are the few things that I have so far, you know, made mistakes on, and they're not crazy mistakes, but there are some mistakes that if you don't start correcting today, you actually might end up losing tomorrow. And guys, it's making sure that you have, you know, that mindset that you know, you want something. But guys, you have to make sure that the timing is right when you do those purchases. Maybe you spend your $15,000 on that car. Maybe you spend your $2,000. Maybe I lost that thing. But guys, the most important thing that I feel like I lost and I look back and I kind of regret is that time. And I know I'm 21 and I have a lot of time left, but guys, it's that time that you don't want to lose, because that time, no matter how much money you have, you just cannot buy back. You can't buy those 2-3 years of your youth. So guys, that's something I want you guys to take back and learn from my mistakes that I have made during my 20s, or I guess you could just say my late teens. And if you guys want, you guys can comment down below what financial mistakes that you guys have done so far. You know, maybe you guys are in your 30s or 40s. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you stay tuned for this Friday's new video, guys. And thank you so much for everyone who has supported this channel so far. It's growing slowly, guys. But guys, making sure that consistency is always there and making sure that you just produce a lot of content for you guys to hopefully enjoy. So guys, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace out.